Hi Canyon oboes. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm here today to help you with some of your all region etudes. I have my music right here next to me and I'm going to be showing you just some tricks and some things to watch out for and some ways to make it easier. I've also included some fingerings, not fingerings, but just alternate fingerings that you need to know, especially for the second etude. There's the key is kind of a lot of flats, so 5 flats, and that gives us some hand position things that we need to work on. So we'll spend a little bit more time on the second etude, the fast one, than the slow. The slow is pretty straightforward, but I'm going to turn you guys around and go through our music with you and then come back and show you some examples, and then I'll play through your etudes at the end. All right? Hope you guys are great. Okay, so we'll start with your slow etude. This is actually not a terribly slow tempo for this etude, 76. You might need to start a little bit slower if you're having some rhythm problems with these, but 76 will actually feel like kind of a quick tempo. So when you have your first measure here, quarter, quarter, dotted quarter, which we're going to think 3, down, up, down, 1.5. There's lots of things that you can think for that. So 1, 2, 3, te. And you have a lot of 3, te. 3, te. You have a lot of that on beat 3. Okay. You have it here, you have it here. Just about every measure you have this dotted quarter note on beat 3. So you need to subdivide that every single time, okay? You have it so many times through here. Also be sure that you don't rush to the next downbeat. So 1, 2, 3, te, 1. Okay, and we are in a great key for regular F, so be sure that you're on regular F only when you need to use left F, and I don't think there's actually any in this piece. So this is all a regular F song, okay? So regular F is a lot better than trying to use left F all the time. It's better to use everything on the right hand that you can. So regular F, C, regular F again. So 1, 2, 3, te, 1, 2, te, 3. If you need a breath, I would actually breathe at one of these after a dotted quarter note. And we don't want to breathe here before the tempo because we took a retard. My stand is kind of wiggly. So no breath right here. So 1, 2, 3, te, 1, 2, te, 3, te, 1, 2, 3, te, 1, 2, te, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, te, 1, 2, te, 3. And that would be another good place for a breath, probably in 6, unless your band directors tell you another place to breathe. And then I would breathe after this half note here. Okay? I'm not going over a lot of fingerings because there's just not a lot to go over, and I'll show you when I play some of these sections. So C, B flat, A flat, G, F. This is chromatic, E, F, F sharp, G, and then a D flat. I'll cover that just in case you're a little unfamiliar with that, but I don't think you are. I think you know it. D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G, F, F flat. Be careful of that note. Okay. F flat is fingered like E, but we're not going to think E, we're going to think F flat because then we have an E flat and that might mess you up. So F, F flat, E flat, and that's another chromatic measure. Okay, 1, 2, te, 3, te, 1. So you have a whole measure to do that crescendo. 2, te, 3, te, C, B, A, G, C, getting softer, A, B, softer and slower, B, A, B, C, B flat, A, G, and then right away loud again here. And that's like the beginning. So just be sure that you're subdividing that dotted quarter note every time, and this end part is just like the beginning. Except for measure 3, it changes a little bit right there from the beginning. Okay, last two measures are a little bit different. 17 and 18 are just like measures 1 and 2. Okay, and we're going to slow down as we get to the end. All right, I'll play that for you. 1, 2, ready? Okay, so a few things I noticed as I was playing that piece, your first song, your lyrical etude, is you're gonna really want to be sure that you mark your breath marks and take your breaths in the same place. And you might need to prepare for some places where you can breathe out and in also. Sometimes we breathe in, and we breathe in, and we breathe in, and it hurts. So we have to plan some places to breathe out too, because we don't use all of our air, we just use our oxygen up. So one of those places is in measure 8 that you are going to want to breathe out and in. Okay, and I'll show you that here in a second. And I have some suggested breath marks in here for you, but if your teacher, if your private teacher, or if your band director want to do something different, they'll of course mark that for you, okay? These are just what worked for me, and I think what could work for you, but it's up to your teachers. All right, so I'm going to show you this breathe out and in measure 8 at the end of 8. Okay, so I breathed out and in at the end of 8. I breathed out and in at the end of 12. And I breathed out and in at 17 after the dotted quarter note. So you don't want to probably breathe before 17, the beginning of that measure. Okay, that just takes your retard into that next measure. And one last thing, you want to be sure that you use lots of vibrato on these lyrical etudes, and don't be afraid to use vibrato on some shorter notes. Sometimes we save our vibrato for really long notes, And we can definitely use vibrato on quarter notes, and I definitely did. So, and even an eighth note, don't be afraid to use vibrato on eighth notes. So you have to kind of work to get those vibrato wiggles in there, but it definitely adds to your performance. It makes you sound like a more mature player, and it makes your judges notice you, and they go, oh wow, this person's already using vibrato, we should listen to them, they're probably a really good student and they're playing better than most of their colleagues, and we want to be sure and use vibrato on some of those notes, even the eighth notes. So let me show you just the very end, the very last 4 measures, and then I want to cover one more thing over measure 20 with you. So here's 17. I want you to pay special attention to my vibrato. Okay, so a lot of vibrato even on the eighth notes. And then in measure 20, you want to have that retard start about 19, in the middle of 19, and that takes you into 20. And I like to think with my last eighth note, I want to count 1, 2, I'm done. And that helps to keep us from rushing that second to last eighth note. So 1, 2, I'm done, instead of 1, 2, ta-da, too fast and out of rhythm there. But just doing it too fast, and it makes it sound like this is a really nice ending to our performance. Okay, so let me play last 2 measures for you. All right. Moving on to your second etude now, your fast etude. This is definitely going to take the majority of your practice time. We have some key signature things that are just more difficult in this key signature that we have to do. A lot more alternate fingerings, and I have those marked for you so you can mark them in your music. And you really need to follow your alternate fingerings every single time that you play. Every single time you practice this, don't go, oh, I missed the fingering. Like if you miss the alternate fingering, you need to consider that like a wrong note. It's not just a, oops, I played the wrong fingering. Like it's a wrong, because it's challenging if you don't have your fingers in the right place to move on to the next note. And you just have so many alternate fingerings here that we need to work on. So I'm going to flip you around so we can talk about some of those here. So you'll want to mark your music this way. This is just our finger pattern for the key of D flat. Forked F and left E flat. So as you're doing your scale, you should be working on your D flat scale with these fingerings, the forked F and left E flat. So this is our first measure with that in it, but you have a lot of measures. You can see I'm not even looking at all of it, where all the blue marks are. So this F needs to be forked F, this E flat is left E flat. Okay, A flat, A flat. I'll show you the fingering for D flat when I flip you around. Okay, be sure you play your A flats here, your G flat here. A flat, G flat, left F, E flat, left F. Okay, and then you have another forked F in measure 6, forked F, left E flat, forked F, left E flat. Anytime we have a D flat after our E flat, we have to use left E flat. Okay, next line. Left E flat again, forked F, left E flat. In 9, you have to hit this first note on left E flat because you have the D flat right after it. And again here. So you have the E flat and then the D flat. So you have to be sure and play this on left E flat. And I'll show you those in a second in case you're confused. Okay, and then just a left F here. We can play left F and not left E flat because there's no D flat after it. So left F, E flat. At the end of the measure, you need a left F. Next line, left F right here on 15. Here is kind of an interesting place because you have an A flat, so you're naturally going to want to go to your regular E flat, but you have to be on left E flat by the time you get to the beginning of 17. So I just wrote a right with an arrow to left. So on any of these three, after you play this note, you can switch to left at any point during these two notes. It might be easier to change on one of them, and if I were to change on exactly one, I would change here. Okay, again, you have to hit a left E flat because you have a D flat after it. Then regular E flat to left F. Moving on to 21, you have just a regular measure here with all regular fingerings. Then in 22, you will play the A flat here and then hit E flat on the right, and you can switch to the left E flat. Okay, so right E flat, left E flat. And then D flat, C, left E flat again. Okay, this is just a reminder G flat. It's already in the key signature, so it should be a G flat moving forward to your G flat here. Okay. Then we're good until we get to a left F in 25. And that's because, well, D flat, you have to play left F, but then you need a left F here. Stay on left F to get to your E flat. Okay, A flat, C flat. This is fingered like B, but don't think B because then you might play a B here. So think C flat, B flat, A flat. Do that grace note right before, it's just a B flat. G flat again, don't forget that. That's in your key signature. B flat, A flat, G flat. Your grace notes follow the key signature. So an A flat, G flat there. F, A flat again, G flat, left F here. I missed that one. D flat, C, B flat, A flat, D flat, D flat, G flat, left F here. Left F here. Go to E flat, then go to forked F, left E flat. So your first F will be left, your second F will be forked. And then you have your left E flat at the end of the measure, preparing you for the D flat again. Okay, scale pattern here again, G flat, forked F, left E flat, left F at the beginning of 38. Okay, 39, the A flat is on the downbeat, and then the triplet is on the upbeat. Starts on the upbeat, and then your last forked F, left E flat, D flat. Okay, so we're going to go over this right now, and I'll show you, I'll play some examples for you. One of the trickiest things about this etude is that we have to have top hand position really needs to be good. This third finger can't be straight at all because we have so many left E flats that we have to be in position just to be able to put that E flat key down. If our third finger is straight like this that I see in a lot of students, if our third finger is straight like this, then these two fingers have to move together. And as much as you're going to left E flat, that's not going to be good, and it looks really weird. So we don't want to do that. We want to curve our fingers when we can, always, and put down our left E flat in a curved position, not in a flat position with third finger. So let me just show you a little bit of that. So okay, And my pinky can just go from E flat, left E flat to D flat really easily. Forked F to left E flat. Okay, also be sure that your left E flat is half hold in this first measure wherever it's in the top of the staff. Okay, your high D flat in measure 3. I have a trick for that fingering and I call it inside outside. So you have your inside fingers on the top. This is the only note that you don't get to put first finger down. So it's 2, 3, first finger pinky. So inside fingers, outside fingers on the C key. Also, something interesting about this fingering is you only use your every finger one time. So finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, and finger 4. So inside, outside. So then moving through measure 4, we have our left F at the end of 4. That should be fairly simple. Back to left F in 5. Then in 6, again, you have your left forked F, left E flat, forked F, left E flat. And then in 7, left E flat, forked F, left E flat. So a lot of flip-flopping pinkies here. Okay, let me show you that again. I'm going to stand up so you can see. Here's that measure again, 6 and 7 in a little different angle so you can see my fingers. So 6 and 7, you're going to need to practice those 2 measures a lot. Just do 2 measures for a while. That's fine. And then 9, we have another left F. 11, 12, 13, we just have some left Fs to worry about. And we really don't have a huge concern fingering wise until we get to 16. So in 16 is where I was telling you that you'll need to switch right hand to left hand. So you're going to go A flat, E flat, E flat, E flat. And just switch pinkies. You can switch at any time. Those pinkies operate the same key. Okay, I'll try and show you that. And I stuck my pinky way up there so you could see that. And then your pinky has come off of this key and can go to D flat there. Okay, then be sure at the end of 17 that you hit that E flat on the left hand side again, so that you can go to D flat, C, E flat, left F in 19, te, ta, 2, te, 1. Okay? So in 21, at the end of, at the 22, you're going to again do that same thing with the right to left hand E flat. So watch that again. Okay. All right, that took you through 24. And at 25, you have a left F, stay on left F into 26. And then you just have some grace notes to talk about. So our grace notes, be sure that you keep those in the key signature. 27 is a C flat, which is fingered like B. Okay, be sure and tongue the beginning of your grace note. and do our grace notes pretty. Remember, ornaments are pretty. The Christmas tree ornaments are pretty, so we want to do pretty ornaments when we do our grace notes. And they don't have to be super fast, but they need to be fast enough that they just sound good. They don't need to be any faster than that. So don't blip them too much together, and give them some thought. So in tempo or closer to tempo. Okay, then that takes us to 31, just a left F there, another left F in 33. 35, we have that scale pattern again. In 35, our first F is left, our second F is forked, and our last note of measure 35 is left, getting us ready for 36. Okay, so I'll show you that. Again. And then the end of that measure. And that took us through the end of the piece. So 39, you have a forked F, left E flat at the end of the measure. And then you have the triplet at the beginning of the measure, the triplet on the upbeat. So 1, te la li 2, te 1 is that measure. 1, te la li 2, te 1. Okay. Another way I think of triplets on the upbeat is 1, triplet 2, te 1. Okay, and that will just help you put that te in the right place, but be sure the triplet starts right on the upbeat. So lots of left E flat, forked Fs, D flats in this piece, and the way that this piece is going to get easier for you is if you are really comfortable with your D flat scale. So if that's one that you've kind of put off knowing very well because it's hard and it's not as fun, just get really familiar with it and don't let it be hard anymore. Just have practiced it enough that it doesn't have to be hard. And get the finger pattern under your fingers and know that you have a lot of left E flats, and the way that E flat is going to be easier is if this third finger is curved. Okay, so I'm actually going to play this etude at a few different tempos for you this time, so that you can hear this slowly and then hear it a little bit faster. All right. This is quarter note equals 60. This is measure 21. 1, 2, 3. This is quarter note equals 70. This is quarter note equals 80. 1, 2, ready? This is quarter note equals 90. 1, 2, ready? This is quarter note equals 96. 1, 2, ready? This is your B flat scale at quarter note equals 120. 1, 2, ready? B flat. 1, 2, ready? A flat. 1, 2, ready? D flat. 1, 2, ready? This is your F scale. 1, 2, ready? This is your C scale. 1, 2, ready? This is your G scale. Chromatic scale. 1, 2, ready? Good luck with these etudes, you guys. On the slow etude, be sure and mark your breaths. Do them in the same place every time. And on the fast one, practice so that you have super good hand position on that top hand, nice curved fingers so that your left E flat comes really easily and you don't have to worry about notes not coming out because your third finger is straight, your ring finger. All right? Good luck, you guys.